a dispensation where truth, beauty, love, abundance, and justice has been trodden on, misinterpreted, abused, and corrupted, God has raised unto us his manservant, Pastor Francis Ansere, the life strategist who has taken upon himself to treat life from a biblical worldview. Ladies and gentlemen, lovely viewers, yes, we began from season 1, season 2, got to season 3, and this year, this is season 4 of the Academy of Life with a life strategist, always teaching you how to live. But this is the phase 2 of the season 4 of the Academy of Life with a life strategist. You are so welcome. We miss you. We miss you so much, people of God. And today, I am not here alone. You see, we love you, we cherish you, we appreciate you. And we don't downplay your presence here with us. Thank you so much for always joining us and always sticking and staying with us. God bless you so much. This evening, we have a lot of goodies for you. Yes, I am not here alone, as I said. I have a lady and some gentlemen with me in the studio today. And we're going to have a lot of discussions, yes, from lives that have been impacted, touched, and blessed. So we have all of them here in the studio this evening to share their experiences on the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist. And also, we have testimonies. Yes, a lot of testimonies. People that have been healed from the prayers that the man of God make on the same set. So if you are here, you are not lost. You are at the right place at the right time. Please share, like, invite friends and loved ones to also join today's broadcast. Please, today's experience will be a lot. You don't want to miss anything, and not even a word from today's episode. So stay tuned, tighten your seatbelt as we bring to you today's discussion. We go for a break. We'll join you very soon. Stay tuned. Welcome, precious viewers, back into the studio. And as I said before we went for the break, I have a lady and some gentlemen with me who are here to share their experiences, their thoughts, and how the Life Strategist and the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist has blessed them, has touched them, and has impacted their lives. So, without wasting more time, I would like them to introduce themselves, but I begin from myself. I am your host and facilitator, Pastor Sheila. So, from my immediate right, I have a nice, fine gentleman who I would want him to introduce himself to you, lovely people of God. Okay, sir, you are welcome into the studio this evening.
Thank you very much, please, Pastor.
It's an honor having you here. And I would like, let's go straight. I would like you to introduce yourself. Tell our viewers a little about yourself.
Thank you very much, please, Pastor, once again. And it's a privilege also being here or me being hosted. I am the person of Deacon Frederick Osubempa.
Okay.
An immediate graduate of KNUST. I am into agric. If I should say a little bit about myself, I am into agric. I am into politics and a political consultant.
Gosh.
Thank you.
So we have a politician. We have a politician here. You know how we do it here in the studio. We have a politician. So you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And we'll move to the person next to you. So can we have a little information about you, sir?
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Minister Fini Jan Dansobafo. I am a first degree holder from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And currently I'm an educational consultant,
a
brain coach, and an author.
People of God, today I am blessed to be within these great men. Okay, so now we move to my immediate left, and that is where I have the lady. Yes. Madam, can you please introduce yourself to our lovely viewers?
Thank you very much, please, Pastor. Please, my name is Deaconess Ajoa Kwaba Abibio. a graduate of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I read biochemistry and currently about to begin my service.
Wow. Thank you so much, madam, for joining us in the studio this evening. Word of God. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, please, Pastor. I'm Deacon Afari Henry. I'm a software engineering student, a digital business consultant, and then I run my NGO.
Today, I sit with great men, and I am so blessed. You can only have this on the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist, always teaching you how to live. But I want to ask, how long have you been following and watching the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist?
All right, thank you very much. Please, first of all, I would want to thank the Life Strategist so much for this privilege and opportunity to be in the studio to interact with our lovely and ever beautiful facilitator.
Thank you.
We always see you on our screens, our laptops, our mobile phones, but today, in fact, I'm even sitting very close to her, so I'm really blessed. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And yes, please, I've been following Academy of Life right from the beginning. I think this program actually began with a program called Pastor Ansere Talks About Life. Yes, please. So right from that program into the season 1, right down to season 4, phase 1, I've been following Academy of Life.
Wow. God bless you so much. God bless you. Sir, can you please also share with us how long have you been following and watching the Life Strategist?
Thank you very much for this question. But before I move on, I also want to say a very big thank you to the Life Strategist for them giving us this opportunity to share with you his studio here. It's not easy to sit with the facilitator in the same room to discuss or talk about what the Life Strategist has shared with us. So I want to say a very big thank you to him, and then thank you to you as well for having us here tonight. Then back to your question. I've also been watching Academy Life from the first day that we began, which is Pastor Talks About Life. And then I've been watching right from day 1, season 1, season 2, season 3, and season 5. I'm still here.
So people are going to have legends in the house. Legends of the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist. They have been with us from day 1 till now, and they are going to share their experience. You will enjoy it, and you love it so much. I move to my immediate right. So, Minister Finney,
Yes, please.
how long, I want to know, how long have you been with us, the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist? How long have you been watching the Academy of Life, please?
All right. Thank you so much. I would say that I've been watching Academy of Life right from its inception.
So you do from Pastor Ansere Talks About Life.
Exactly.
I said it.
Exactly. And, right from Pastor Ansere Talks About Life up till now. As a matter of fact, I never imagined that a day will come I'll be given this privilege to sit here to also discuss what I've been able to learn from the Life Strategist all this while. And I would like to say thank you to the Life Strategist for this wonderful privilege. And I'm so much happy to be on set with our facilitator, Counselor Pastor Sheila.
I'm also happy to be on set with you, sir. So, to our last gentleman, Deacon, please, for how long have you been following the Academy of Life, the Life Strategist?
Thank you very much, please, Pastor. I think maybe I would be the only odd one here because I didn't watch study. I think maybe I'll be the only odd one here because I didn't watch Pastor Ansere Talks About Life.
Okay.
I began right from season 1 though, but I didn't watch Pastor Ansere Talks About Life. And it has been a blessing from season 1 to season 4. I have been through it all. And every day I've been at the back of my phone or computer watching the facilitator and then the Life Strategist. I never imagined. So when I was given a call to come here and come and share a moment with the facilitator, I was like, oh, glorious. Thank you very much, the Life Strategist, for this opportunity. I bless him so much. It's a privilege. Actually, my first time being in the studio and being with the facilitator herself.
I understand the feeling. Yes, if I can really recount, the first day I had to sit with the man of God, the Life Strategist. Oh my God. It was a blessing. It was a privilege. I feel it. Yes, I know how it feels like. Thank you so much for also joining us. I've been speaking with you through the air. So I never even thought to meet you guys today. And God being so good, we are here. So, people of God, today we are here to share experiences and how we have been blessed by the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist. So these people of God, the lady and my gentleman are here to share their experiences. And as they said, you know that they've been following the Academy of Life with the life strategist from, if not, Pastor Ansere Talks About Life, season 1 up to date. So they have a lot to share with us. So please continue liking, sharing, and invite family and friends. Don't forget that we are on Facebook, and the name is the Academy of Life, the Life Strategist. On Instagram, the Academy of Life. On YouTube, Pastor Ansere, the Life Strategist. And on Telegram, Purpose Planet. So you can connect with us through all these social media handles and become part of this big family. You are so welcome. So don't forget to also follow, like, share, and invite family and loved ones to also watch today's episode. And I believe so much that their experiences and their testimonies today will also be a blessing to you. Maybe next time you'll be the one sitting here on this set. So I go to my immediate right again, and Sir Deacon Fred, I want to ask you, what is your overview of the Academy of Life, the Life Strategy?
Thank you very much, please, Pastor. I think before I start to talk about my overview, I would thank the management of this very show or program. It has been a blessing and it has been transformative. If you pick it right from where I started, season 1 to season 4, you know how transformative it has been. Particularly me, I didn't know that before you can become whoever you need to be in a society, in your community, or in your nation, you have to rediscover yourself. You have to understand the message of purpose. Without Academy of Life, or had it not been the life strategies being on this show, I wouldn't know much about myself. And I've come to realize that if a man misses who he really is, or misses what fundamentally he came to earth to do, or the purpose, the grand purpose of God, and how he's supposed to play a role in it, he misses it all. The drive, the vision, and everything that he has to live everyday life with, he will miss everything totally. And so, particularly me, I rediscovered myself. I came to know that no, whatever I thought I was in the beginning, that's not what I wasn't at all. So has been Academy of Life, particularly season 1, which changed my thinking and how I saw myself, and then gave me a new identity in Christ. And from then onwards, my life has never been the same. Everything about me, from finances to everything physical you see about me, has changed. Thanks to the management of this program for bringing such a lovely and a transformative program to us. Yes.
Wow, we thank you so much for that experience shared with us. And you see, as you said, I really understand where you are speaking from, because personally, I have been more than blessed hosting Academy of Life with the Life Strategist, and my perspective and understanding on creation and purpose has been widened so much that now I look at things from the perspective of God, because the man of God has taught us a lot, especially when he was handling who am I and what am I. So now we really understand who we are, and we really understand the purpose of humanity on earth. God bless you so much for that experience. Now I move to Minister Finney. Minister Finney, how has the Academy of Life blessed you in general, from season 1 or Pastor Ansere Talks About Life till now? How has it blessed you?
All right. Thank you, please, so much for the question. I must, thank the Life Strategist for putting Academy of Life together. And I would clearly say that Academy of Life has really been a blessing to me, not only to me, but then to the entire world, most especially our young people, as in our young generation. Because when you study a little bit about statistics of Africa, you realize that the population of the young people of Africa is around 60 to 70% below 25 years. Which simply means that we have a lot of our population being young people.
And very vibrant.
Yes. And the last time they conducted, population census, it came out that about 58 to 60% of Ghana's population is also young people below 25 years old. So I remember the first episode of Academy of Life where the Life Strategist actually made us know his intent for organizing Academy of Life. And I really remember the fire and the zeal with which he spoke to us. And I really remember he talked about the fact that who is going to teach our young people how to understand life. I remember he said that if somebody wants to become a civil engineer, he knows where to go to become a civil engineer, a nurse, and then what have you. But then he asked, if somebody wants to be mentored about life and understand life, where does the person go to? And for me, I have seen Academy of Life as a 21st century cutting edge life mentorship program, which is giving a lot of clarity to young people, helping us understand life from God's perspective. And I remember it was the first time I heard the word existential questions of life. And I remember the life strategist said that we have, I think, 7 existential questions of life. And until you come to a point to be able to decipher those questions, you are not ready for life. And I heard something from him that got me marveled. He said, there are some people, they are existing, they are not living.
They are not living.
And you are existing basically because you've not been able to answer the question of where did I come from? Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? What can I do? What must I do? And where am I going from here? And you see, the life strategist, he organizes a training session for us in church, and by God's grace, I was able to discover my life assignment and what I was supposed to do. But it took Academy of Life to actually bring a lot of clarity to many things. For example, it took Academy of Life to actually make me see how superior the Bible is. Not that it took the Academy of Life to exalt the Bible, but then to make me see how relevant the Bible is to everyday life. And there's one quote he said that it is always with me. He said, it is the Bible that contains coherent, consistent answers to the toughest existential questions of life. And from that time, I started seeing my Bibles from a certain perspective. I never knew the Bible talks about a whole lot of things. And right from season 1 up till now, I have personally seen the Bible as the only book that can change and transform my life, and not only my life, transform civilization and transform culture. And I believe I'm not the only person. I know a lot of people are being blessed by the life strategists and Academy of Life. So this is my overview of Academy of Life ever since its inception.
Thank you so much. But before I came on set today, I was thinking about something you just mentioned, that if somebody wants to be a lawyer, there's an institution that trains lawyers. If somebody wants to be a medical doctor, we have the medical school there. But if you look at our constitution, we have the basic fundamental human rights, and one is the right to education. So everyone has the right to be educated. And I believe because of that, now the country or the system has established institutions that people can go through for schooling. But there's one that we have the right to life. And why it shocks me that we have the right to life in the constitution, but nobody is bringing an institution that people go through to be established in life, to be taught about life. So sometimes when I think about this, I just, one person comes to mind, the Academy of Life, that life strategist. He is really doing a massive work, and I believe the youth of his generation is blessed to have him in this generation. He has been so much of a blessing. He makes life look simple and easy, and it doesn't only look simple and easy. If you follow whatever he's teaching, you don't really struggle with life. It's like you know the step from where to go, from where you go. It's always an amazing experience to watch him. So people of God, I know you are enjoying today's interactions in the studio, and I know you have your own experiences and your own testimonies. You can share them in the comment section. And if you have a new question, you can also ask them in the comment section. They'll be answered for you. And if you've not contacted that loved one and the family member, contact them, tell them we are live and we are sharing testimonies and experiences here in the studio. I move to my lady and gentleman on my left, and I want to know their experience so far from the Academy of Life, the life strategy, their testimony, and how good the program have been to them. My lady, Deaconess Kramer, I want to know, how good has the life strategies been to you in terms of the Academy of Life with the life strategies?
The life strategist has been so much of a blessing, I must confess. The Academy of Life, thanks so much to the team behind this great program, because it has shaped my whole being, from the way I think to the way I act to the way I speak to the way I do everything. Before, I thought that life was mysterious, like life could not be understood, life was clumsy, vague, like you can't really understand life. But following the Academy of Life till this time now, I know life has a clear-cut path to success. I mean, the very steps to follow to actually live life the way God wants us to live. Because I mean,
it makes success easy to achieve.
yes, so easy.
Wow.
Yes, please. It makes it so easy. It makes life very interesting to live. And personally, it has affected the way I think of myself personally, and then how I relate to others around me, and then how I relate to animals, my pets in the house. Can you imagine it? The Academy of Life is really doing a lot. It affects the way you relate to even your environment, because we know their creation story right from season 1. The Academy of Life is a blessing. God bless the life strategist so much.
God bless you too, Deaconess. And the most interesting thing is, if you don't know where you are going, how do you know when you've reached? You won't know. If you don't know what you are fighting, how do you conquer? You can't. Man of God, share your experience with us.
Personally, for me, I think I'm going to say Academy of Life, just like the name goes, is an academy every young person that wants to understand life should, let me say, gain admission to.
Okay.
Because personally, I've been blessed by Academy of Life, and then I know many people who have been blessed, and then even when we went on the break, some people were asking me when we are going to resume and why I'm not sending the link, which means they are always waiting to hear what the life strategy is going to say on how to live. So now, personally, for me, I'm going to say Academy of Life has really transformed my life and changed my mindset on many things. And I'm going to dwell on one particular topic the life strategist dealt with in one of the seasons. The life strategist spoke about giftings and talents in one of the seasons. And then before then, I saw giftings and talents to be something like some people have talent, some of us don't have them. So those that have them can treat what they have anyhow they want it, and then how they want to use it. But then after watching I think season 3 of Academy of Life, I got to understand that talents were given to us for us to do specific things with them, and then you can't treat your talents anyhow. And then I got to understand that we don't have some special people that have talents. We all have talents. You just have to know how you are going to utilize your talents well. And then the life strategist said that if you want to really utilize your talent, you should be using your talent to fulfill purpose. That means you can't use your talent anyhow you want out there, but then it should be used to fulfill purpose. So I would say that the Academy of Life, the life strategist, has been a blessing. And I know many people are being blessed, just like I'm being blessed here.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to throw this general question. What is that one episode in season 4 that really broke the camel's back for you? But before you answer, hold on. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. opportunity to speak to God about life, what would He say life is? Do you understand purpose? Can you locate your place in destiny? Who are you? Do you have an accurate knowledge of your identity? Do you seek to impact, influence, and have relevance on earth? Then your search is over. The Academy of Life with the Life Strategist specially invites you to its official online mentorship community on Telegram called Purpose Planet. Go to Telegram and simply search for Purpose Planet and join this Telegram channel of the Life Strategist, where daily and weekly mentorship teachings of Pastor Ansere is shared. Purpose Planet, your favorite online mentorship community dedicated to teaching you how to live and do life from the biblical worldview. Shalom. We give you a warmly welcome back into the studio. I still have the lady and my gentleman in the house, yes. And the discussion is ongoing. If you've not liked, please like, share, invite that family member, your loved one, and that special person to also join you watch this episode of the Academy of Life with the Life Strategist. You can also follow and like our pages on Facebook, the Academy of Life, the Life Strategist, Instagram, the Academy of Life, on YouTube, Pastor Ansere, the Life Strategist, and on Telegram, Purpose Planet. You can follow us on all these social media platforms. Thank you so much, for I know you will do that for us. Now, to my general question, what is that? That's one episode in season 4 that broke the camel's back for you, and it applies to my viewers as well. You can type your experience and that's one episode in the comment section for us, and we also know what you feel and what you think about the Academy of Life, the Life Strategy. So who is setting the ball rolling?
Please, I would like to begin.
Okay.
So that one particular episode which literally got me bamboozled was episode 18.
Wow.
And then I think the Life Strategist was talking about biblical epistemology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really transformed my thinking pattern about life and everything. And he talked about the fact that the fear of God is the beginning of knowledge and of wisdom. The fear of God is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. And he said, to begin to know knowledge and wisdom, you must make sure that God is the center, which is very, very important. He said, to begin to know knowledge, God must be the center. That simply means that the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom without God in the picture is going to make everything look clumsy. Then he defined what the fear of God is, and he said, number 1, to fear God simply means to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
And number 2,
that.
to fear God simply means to make him the number 1 priority in every decision that you take and everything that you do. And that has a consequence, and that has implication. He made mention of the fact that there are, you see, I actually realized that there are a lot of mistakes that people are making, the young people are making in our generation. And one of the biggest mistakes that they make is that they want to pursue knowledge and they want to pursue wisdom, beginning with themselves.
Yes, but they leave God out.
They leave God out of the picture. And that is a problem that we are facing in our generation. Leaving God out of the picture, leaving the divine revelation out of the picture. And that is the reason why we cannot, or we are not seeing a certain level of transformation in our lives and in our nation as a whole.
I remember he said that's the reason why the world is where it is today. Yes, because you see, you go to every institution and God has been left out. Meanwhile, he is the very foundation on which everything should be built. So without that foundation, where is the building?
That is very true. So I remember he quoted something and he said that according to biblical epistemology, to arrive at truth, and to know what is true, it must be our logic, number one, and our senses, number two, ought to be subjected to divine revelation. And when we say epistemology, he was basically talking about the fact that, which is the study of knowledge and of wisdom. And for us to be able to rightly study knowledge and wisdom, for us to be able to pursue knowledge, it has basically three arms. And number one is logic. And logic has to do with our reasoning. And number two has to do with senses. And our senses has to do with empirical studies. And he said that for us to be able to pursue knowledge with empirical studies and then reasoning, without the divine revelation being the base of it, it will not end us anywhere. It is actually going to bring us to a place where we cannot think right. I remember he made mention of the fact that whatever knowledge we come to by reason of our senses and by reason of our logic, without without divine revelation, it doesn't have transformative power. And that was really, really important. And he linked the reason behind modern day science and how we were able to come about modern day science. And he talked about the fact that the fathers of the modern day science discovered a certain scripture. And before that, he mentioned something that Jesus said, that if you don't believe me by my words, how about my works? Then he made mention of the fact that the fathers of modern day science saw a certain scripture that says that awesome and glorious are the works of God, which are studied by those who delight in them. And he said that he delved into the matter of studies, and he said that it is not necessarily pondering or meditating, but then studying that particular word.
Minister, you are teaching the whole episode. Wow, interesting. It means you really and you keenly listen to the man of God. Wow.
Episode really transformed me.
Please continue.
So he made mention of the fact that we are not just supposed to meditate on the word of God. We are not just supposed to ponder on the word of God. We are supposed to actually study it, which simply means going out to experiment, to observe things, to touch and see things. And that was how come science was birthed. And then he said that there's something I really love. I love, apologetics and those things. So he made mention of the fact that the reason why Greek couldn't pioneer science, even though we had some of the, according to world standards, some of the greatest minds from that particular side, the reason why they couldn't pioneer science was simply because their logic and their senses were just subjected to, it was something, they were just speculating. It wasn't subjected to divine revelation. For example, Buddhism, with that particular religion, they meditate on the things that, for example, I remember in one episode, the life strategist said that when you go to their libraries, they have the books all right there, but they don't read it.
They've not practicalized what they've been reading. I remember that one where he used his handkerchief and then a marker pen to demonstrate that one to us. I get it.
I remember that one. He was talking about scientists by name Galileo Galilei, who came to debunk certain theories we were made to believe by those ancient Greek philosophers, which were not true.
He was a Christian.
He was a Christian.
Yes.
He was a theologian who understood life from the biblical perspective. And so he concluded by letting us know that science was birthed because senses and logic were subjected to the verdict of divine revelation. And then he asked the question, how can we know truth, beauty, justice, abundance, and love? We can only know what is true, or what is truth, what is justice, what is love, what is beauty and abundance, only when our senses, which has to do with our empirical evidence, empirical studies, and our logic, which has to do with our reasoning, are subjected to the verdict of divine revelation. And it is only by that we would clearly be able to know how God thinks about life and how we can live our lives to the glory of God and to better human life.
Wow. Wow. God bless you so much, Minister. You've really listened to that episode.
So much.
Yes, and indeed, I know it has blessed you because the way you are pouring the things out, wow, God bless you. So who is next? Oh, okay, Deacon Fred.
Thank you very much, please, Pastor. I think Academy of Life Season 4 has been very transformative, as I earlier on said. Yeah, but particularly for me, if I pick episode 5 and 6, which the heading or the topic was the 5, but even the 7 pillars of civilization was very transitional and expositional. The reason why I'm saying that is because we should remember that the life strategies began this particular season with what we must do or what must I do. Yes, please. And then the life strategies in the first episode made us realize that what we must do it's not just doing something, but becoming something. And it was then that he told us that there are characters or characteristics of Christ that we must embody. And in that is what we must become.
Okay.
So in the episode 5, as I was saying, if we pick it, he spoke about pillars of civilization. He spoke about seven pillars of civilization. And then the reason why I find those 2 episodes very interesting to me is because, remember I said I am a politician or political consultant, and then our main focus is nation building. So when the life strategists laid the 7 pillars of civilization from the Bible to me, and then emphasized each of them, the role that they play, the cardinal role that they play in nation building, it was very amazing to me. I got to realize that, okay, now every one of us as a person, as an individual, as a citizen, needs to be at either one of these or 2 of these mountains, or as many as the person's potentials will allow him or her to go in for. But I thought to myself that, okay, if this is the case, why then does it seem like all these pillars that the life strategy is talking about, it seems like, or if you look at our country here, it seems like they are all occupied by, in quotes, secular people. Because you rarely see a Christian or a young person from a Christian background operating with Judeo-Christian mindset being at the top of any of these mountains. Is it that it is owned by the devil that we are trying to reclaim it, or it is our own that God gave us, but they've taken it from us? So I wanted to understand. So that was where my probing was. And then I really became steady listening to those episodes. And then I think he was like, okay, we couldn't finish it this episode. Next week, we will continue. I was much interested in the next week's episode.
Okay.
Because I wanted to understand how these people dominated these mountains and what we are supposed to also do as young Christians. And then the next episode, which was the 2 or the II of that previous episode, the life strategies continued, and they made us realize from the Bible that these ones were created by God. The 5 but 7 pillars of civilization were created by God for us to dominate, for civilization to run on. Every nation's progress or retrogression will run on these 5 but 7 pillars of civilization. And then I realized that, okay, so how did they come here? And then he brought a scripture from Proverbs to buttress the reason why these 7 pillars of civilization were made by God, and it is for Christians to dominate. And later on, he picked a scripture from Daniel, the book of Daniel in the Bible, and then he showed us the alternate version that Satan has also created. And so it seems to us that these 7 pillars of God has been occupied, but not. It is an alternate fake version that Satan has created, and then they are dominating it. But it seems like ours is what they've occupied, not. So if a person sits back and say that, okay, let's go and reclaim our thing from them, the person is wrong. Actually, it belongs to us, and ours is there that we are supposed to occupy it. But before we occupy it, we need a certain character to occupy those pillars or those mountains. We need certain character. And it was then that he formally or officially introduced the 5 virtues of life. He introduced goodness, abundance, truth, love, and justice. We introduced these virtues of life, and he said, without inculcating these 5 keys or virtues of life, you cannot rise to the mountain top. And so these are the keys for you to rise to the mountain top.
So hold your thoughts there, Deacon. We'll come there.
Yes, please.
Beauty, abundance, justice, goodness, and truth.
Yes, please.
We'll come there.
Yes,
Hold on for now. Thank you so much for sharing with us. So now we turn to our lady and our gentleman. I want to ask, what is that one episode that did the miracle for you? That you said, that's one episode you said, wow. Wow, like I'm really getting now. I really understand what the life strategists want to communicate to us. What is that one episode?
Okay, so I think the life strategist said something in one of the episodes that really blessed my life. And then in episode 16 of this season, he said, we have so deviated to the point that we think that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
And then we think justice is in the hands of our lawyers and then our lawmakers. But then from this particular episode, episode 16, I got to understand that beauty does not lie in the eyes of the beholder. Justice is not with our lawmakers and then those in the parliament. I can say from what I learned that truth doesn't also come from some people. We see them to be some professors or some lecturers somewhere. Based on
And in that particular episode, I think the life strategies really broke some strongholds, which we had in our heads that this is what holds. This is how it is. But when he picked that, I think when he said that this saying, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, is not truth. Like, I remember I was like, man of God, come again. Because that very episode, the things he handled, me myself, I was shocked. Man. So please, no wonder you picked that episode. You can continue, please.
So he said that truth, the five virtues by Adekin spoke about. He said truth, love, justice, beauty, and abundance. They are not determined by our constitution. They are not determined by our culture. They are not determined by businessmen, and then they are not determined by, let me say, our judges in the law court. We discover them, and then they have their source. So now, who then is the source? That became the question I was waiting for the answer. Then he answered that question in that episode. But then before I answer that question, I'd want to make reference to something Adekin said in what he just said.
Okay.
When we began this season, the man of God spoke about the 7 pillars of civilization. And then we got to understand that these pillars are the ones that runs the nations. So that now every nation runs on them. And then we got to understand that these pillars that runs the nations, they have Christ as their foundation. Which means Christ is the foundation. And then these pillars are being built on Christ. Which means everything that is going to happen or everything that should happen in these 7 pillars must be patterned after Christ.
Okay.
Everything that is supposed to happen in these 7 pillars must be patterned after Christ, because Christ now is the pattern. And then the man of God or the life strategist made us to understand from scriptures that Christ is eternal. Now, if Christ is eternal, it means the principles or the virtues that we are talking about, the 5 virtues, they are eternal, which means they are unbending, they are unchanging, and then they are binding. He said that changing times and then changing of locations, I'll add, do not change these virtues and principles. Which means that these virtues
apply
everywhere. Which means if something is true in Ghana, it should be true in Togo as well. If something is beautiful in South Africa, it should be beautiful in China. We don't have to say that something is true here or something is just here. But then when you go to a different country, it's not just, because the principles are eternal. Now, based on what he said, he moved on to tell us that because the principles are eternal and then you get these principles from Christ, these principles are absolute. Which means he said they are absolute realities. Which means they are not subjective to what people say. That means if something is true here, we don't say something is true because of what someone is saying. We don't say something is beautiful because of what someone is saying, or something is good, or something is. We don't define love based on what someone is saying. We pick them from the pattern because they are all coming from a certain foundation, and that foundation is Christ. And I think that is the main reason why he said beauty is not in the eyes of the beholder, or beauty does not lie in the eyes of the beholder, because beauty, just like he said, is subjective. It doesn't change. So it doesn't.
I remember this particular instance that I think I asked the question that, okay, so if beauty, if something is beautiful here in Ghana, it should be beautiful in Asia and everywhere. But now this is the case. I'm seeing a beautiful and a fine girl, and this girl B, who is not beautiful but ugly. So why is it that? But that same ugly girl, someone looks at her and she's beautiful, but she's not beautiful to me. So I think I asked that question, and the explanation the man of God gave was marvelous. He said something that I'll never forget. He said that the reason why we see that something is ugly is because we are not looking at the thing from the lens of God. Yes, the lens through which God views and looks at things. And so if I don't have that, I don't look at things through that lens, that the lens of God, then definitely I'll be looking with my own my fallen state and my fallen nature and say this is beautiful. But meanwhile, when you go to Genesis, the Bible says that after God creating everything, he said it was good. So nothing was ugly. Wow. So please continue. I just wanted to chip in this. I remember with this one. I asked a lot of questions in that episode. So let's continue.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude on what I'm saying with a question you asked the life strategy. I think he said he was talking about limits, and then you asked him that why can't I just say truth and then say something is beautiful without limits?
Yeah.
And then he said that they have limits, and then these limits are standards, which means truth has a standard, beauty has a standard, and that is where we say that they are subjective to what God is saying. Because if we take God out, someone can say this is what I believe to be true, and because we don't have that standard or that limit, we can't restrict the person.
Standard out.
Yes, please.
Wow, interesting. And now, lastly, we have our lady Dickness. Please share yours with us.
Okay, so Pastor, please, the very episode that did something to me was episode 19.
Wow.
So in that episode, the life strategist was sharing something very marvelous. He said that we are on this earth to actually live a Christ-like life. So please, I remember you asked the life strategist something. You asked that, you said that we should be careful what we pray for. And it did something to me, because when we are praying, God, make me like Christ. Let me live like Christ. And we
don't know what or who Christ is.
Exactly. So if you say you want to be Christ, like, what do you mean? But the life strategist says something, and I quote, to be Christ-like is to live for and by the 5 eternal Christ principles. Okay. And then from what my brothers here have said already, we have truth, love, beauty, abundance, and justice. These 5 eternal Christ principles are the very foundations on which we live. So he says something about truth. He said that as we are all here, human beings, our very makeup are these principles, because we were made in the image of God, and then we know this image as Christ, and we even know God in Christ. So if this truth or these principles are our makeup, it means that it determines how we live, and then it even determines how we react to certain things that happens to us. Okay. And he gave examples like the reason why when someone tells you a lie or when someone cheats you, it hurts you, is because the person has done something that is reverse to your makeup. So that is how come you feel that pain and that hurt.
That wasn't how we were created to function.
Yes, please. Yeah. And then, I mean, it really got me thinking a lot. And then he also said that when you yourself to lie or you cheat, what you are doing to yourself, you're actually destroying yourself. You are doing something that is damaging your own self. And I remember you even chipped in cancer. Yeah. Because what you are doing to yourself, you are fighting back your own self. And then he also mentioned that if you hate someone, you are disturbing your own self. Don't hate someone because your makeup is not like that. Exactly. And then please, he made these principles so practical. That's how come I can't wait for the phase 2 when he's actually going to pick them one by one, because he said that the reason why even in our state, in our nation, we have separation of powers. I mean, who would ever think that separation of powers is linked to these principles? How? But he made mention that the reason why the Swiss brought up this principle of separation of powers is because they know that God, even in heaven, he doesn't rule alone. That is why he has the 24 thrones occupied by elders. He has shared his power to people to also rule. So the life strategist said that God, as he is right now, he has also given us power.
Decentralization.
He has decentralized the power to human beings. The only thing is that there's a limit. Yes. There's a limit so that we don't do evil, because we are fallen men. So these things got me so thinking, and I was so blessed, because how come truth, love, abundance, beauty, justice are the foundation on which we live? I was so blessed.
Wow. Thank you so much, my guests today. They are killing me with the messages of the Academy of Life with the life strategies. Wow, it means you guys are really listening and learning a lot from the life strategies. God bless you so much for doing that. And up next, we're going to take the testimonies from the people who were also blessed and imparted and was touched by the prayers of the man of God here in this same studio on the Academy of Life, the Life Strategies. But before that, let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't move anywhere. Stay tuned. Opportunity to speak to God about life, what would He say life is? Do you understand purpose? Can you locate your place in destiny? Who are you? Do you have an accurate knowledge of your identity? Do you seek to impact, influence, and have relevance on earth? Then your search is over. The Academy of Life with the Life Strategist specially invites you to its official online mentorship community on Telegram called Purpose Planet. Go to Telegram and simply search for Purpose Planet and join this Telegram channel of the Life Strategist, where daily and weekly mentorship teachings of Pastor Ansere is shared. Purpose Planet, your favorite online mentorship community dedicated to teaching you how to live and do life from the biblical worldview. Shalom. You are welcome back into the studio, people of God. We have heard what my guests here today shared with us, their experiences, and the impact, how the Academy of Life messages have impacted their lives. And we move on to the testimonies we have today. So let's go and watch some testimonies from some viewers of the Academy of Life, the Life Strategists. And we will hear from the horse's own mouth. So stay tuned as we watch.
Everyone, my name is Namaranata from Pentecost University. I've been watching Academy of Life for a while now. And this Academy of Life has really impacted my life. Mr. AJ Sensational, God bless you for introducing me to this program. I would like to recommend this program to every youth. Please watch this program and your life will never be the same. Academy of Life has taught me a lot of things about life, hidden things that I do not have an idea of. But Academy of Life has taught me. So I would like to recommend Academy of Life. Watch Academy of Life on YouTube, Facebook, and your life will never be the same. Thank you and God bless.
Wow, and that is the testimony from our sister. You can see she's so blessed. And Mr. Finney, can you say something about this testimony?
Yes, facilitator, thank you so much for the opportunity once again. I could clearly see from her excitement and how she's thanking the Life Strategist and then recommending Academy of Life to everybody. I would like to say and then speak basically to our viewers out there that Academy of Life with the Life Strategist is a very strategic program that basically changes the worldview and the mindset of people. And that is why we may not be able to preach like the Life Strategist does. We may not be able to talk like he does. We will not be able to bring out revelations from God's word like he does. But there's one thing I know all of us will be able to do. Just share the link. And I believe this should be ingrained in our hearts, knowing that just a link shared to somebody can transform somebody's life and change the mindset of somebody who we do not know what the person will become tomorrow. And
maybe you will be sharing to the next Dangote.
Exactly.
As because you shared, you will remember you when you get there.
Exactly. For example, we had some people who were really tyrants in our generation, and then generation past that really destroyed a lot of lives. What if they had an opportunity to hear somebody preach to them on who they are in Christ, what they are, why they are here on earth? I'm sure they wouldn't have caused those havoc they caused in our world. So our dear viewers, like our sister is so excited sharing her testimony because a friend invited her. Let's not be, adamant sharing the link and then inviting our friends and family to join the Academy of Life. And I know even as it has blessed her, it has blessed me, It has blessed everybody in this
All
studio.
of us.
It is definitely going to bless somebody's life and transform the person's mindset about life. So that's basically what I can say about her
Wow,
testimony.
God bless you. And moreover, it doesn't take a lot to share. You just have to share. You can share 1,000 times. And then like you don't know what you do for somebody by sharing. You don't just know. So just share. You randomly share. Share to everyone and anyone on your platform. Okay, man of God.
Absolutely, just like my brother here was saying, or he just said, the lady we saw, or our dear sister that we just saw her testimony, is really appreciative in her heart. And you could see that exuding from the words that she is speaking. And if there is anything that we could do, or any of us watching this program every day or every Wednesday, we could do, is just to introduce someone else to the program. We said we should share the link. Can we also introduce the program to someone, and then let them know how they can reach us, how they can join this season every day or every Wednesday at the comfort of their own houses or wherever they find themselves. When you go to all the social media platforms, the Life Strategies is there, Academy of Life is available, and most importantly, all these videos right from season 1, they are all there.
We
they
don't
are
delete
all
them.
available. It is not deleted. They are all available. If you give yourself some time, or if you give yourself up to 4 hours, how the videos have been structured on YouTube, I think the name is The Life Strategies, Pastor Ansere.
And Deacon, you have to go and watch the Pastor Ansere Talks About Life.
Yes, please.
From what he said, it means
yes, please.
It's
yes,
there,
please, Pastor. Yes, please, Pastor. I'll myself watch it. I've watched it before.
Oh, okay.
But I'll still watch it again because I
you didn't
believe,
mention it.
Yes,
that's
please.
Right.
It's a good instruction too. Because twice watching something, you gain more knowledge about that thing. So these videos are summarized at the YouTube page, The Life Strategist. If you go and watch them, if you go there, you see. So
we have excerpts of all the videos.
All the videos.
Okay.
So even if you think that you don't have time, you are so occupied, if you chance on this video that I am right now sharing here, you can go to the YouTube page, watch all the excerpts, give yourself like 4 hours. You can watch from season 1 to season 4, where we are right now, and then join the train so that you'll be part of this broadcast or this big family.
And also, to add something little to it, you can also have the audio version of all the messages on Purpose Planet.
So when you are very tight and you can't watch the video, just play the audio and listen. The man of God will speak to your spirit. Even when you are sleeping, listen. It will shock you that by the time you are awake, you'll be just pouring the things that Life Strategist was sharing once you were sleeping out. So he's the Life Strategist, and that's how it works. God bless you so much. So now let's just move to the next testimonies and see what they also have to say.
Hi there, my name is Christiana Ohene, and I'm here to share my testimony of how far my life has been transformed by the Life Strategies. Growing up as a child, I felt that women were the problem to the world and that we were not important in society and also relevant to God. So due to this deception that I had, in the year 2020, I felt that the best way for me to be relevant to God and in society is to express myself as a man, and the best position to do this is to become a lesbian. But I thank God so much that in that same year I encountered this program, and in one of the seasons, I think in season 2, which is Who Am I, the Life Strategist made mention of the fact that every human being we see on this earth is a solution to the world, and that some part of God has been imprinted in us to come and solve a problem. And also he said that every human being were made in his image, in the image of God. And since then I understood that, first of all, women are not a problem to the world, and that both women and men are a solution to the world and also relevant to God. And I thank God that I encountered this program at the right time, because I don't know who and what I would have become if I didn't gain this understanding. And because many people out there are facing similar situation like I did, and also there are people also out there who doesn't know what life is and how to begin life in the first place. So if you are watching us or you are on this platform, see it as a privilege from God in knowing what life is and how to live life perfectly. What I want to say is that thank you so much, the life strategist, the facilitator, and the Academy of Life team for putting this program together, and that every Wednesday you come out to pour your heart to us, and so that we can live life perfectly and to know more about ourselves as a human being. Thank you so much once again, and I love you, the life strategist. Bye bye.
Wow, and we have heard our sister. I'm taken aback watching this young beautiful girl, where she was heading to, and when she met Academy of Life, now her understanding and the kind of confidence she has in herself. Man of God, so what do you have to say about that testimony?
Watching this particular testimony, I think in as much as I'm happy, I'm also sad at the same time, because I know there are some people out there who have not yet gotten into contact with us, who are having similar issues. Because from what she was saying, one, she didn't know what to do with her life, and then she assumed that she's a problem to the world.
She had a distorted mindset.
She had a distorted mindset
of women.
Yes, because she assumed that women are problems to the world. So the best way to help God is to become a man, so that now she can use that to help God. But then that was a wrong way to go, because just like the name goes, teaching you how to lead. But then when she encountered the program, she got to understand that no, you have a purpose, and then as a female, God has a purpose for you, and then you are not supposed to look like a man or act like a man before you go out there to go and fulfill purpose. So I believe there are many young people out there who also need to hear this message, because many people don't understand purpose. They don't know what to do with their lives. So from what she said, all I can say is the life strategist is really doing a great job, because someone going that way, and then by just meeting the life strategist, watching Academy of Life, the person has changed direction. The person is now looking at what she can do personally as a female to fulfill purpose. The program is really a blessing.
Wow. 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 So, Mommy, you can.
So, looking at our sister's testimony, can see that the life strategist is still in the business of transforming lives.
Definitely.
Because when we look at this young, beautiful lady, I mean, I'm not sure she had a bad heart. I mean, she had a good heart to actually be a solution, but then in a perverse way by being a man. So listening to the life strategist from the beginning, that we carry a part of God in us. In fact, God made us in his image, meaning that what God can do, we can also do here. So the thing is that we carrying a part of God is our true identity. So she finding out her true identity made her to become who God wants her to be. So I mean, the life strategist is really doing a great work, and right now she has found her identity and she's going to be a blessing. So the world has gained a solution.
Yes.
So
and that's the magic the Academy of Life with the life strategist can do. Oh, God bless the life strategist. God bless him so much. So, people of God, we move to the next video, and let's watch that testimony from our loved one.
Greetings to you all, Pastor Sheila, Pastor Ansere. My name is Lady Bella, and I'm always watching from Asia. So I'd like to thank you for the opportunity you've given me to be able to share with you what I have learned and how I have benefited from the program, the Academy of Life. It's also such a joy and a blessing to listen to Pastor Ansere teach. Every one of his teachings are so simple to understand and comprehend. So I wasn't there to witness the beginning of the program, the Academy of Life, but I was able to watch the essence you left online. Unfortunately, you posted them online, which helped a lot. So I got the understanding of what Papa was trying to teach, the life orientation, where I come from, what I must do, who I am, what I am. And through his teachings, I learned a lot about myself. And last season, he talked about this, what I can do, the reward and the effects of my gifts and the human talent. And he also said that reward to be happiness and satisfaction, inner satisfaction that comes with it. I started to consider things that I might be actually good at, right? Because by then I didn't really take note of the things I was good at. I didn't know that I might be good in singing or I had no idea. But after listening to Pastor Ansere's teaching, that I started to consider things I might be actually good at and then how to use it in a way that would please the Lord Almighty, of course, because there were a lot of things I didn't pay attention to as a child of God then, but now I do. Season 4 has been the most helpful because I graduated in senior high school last year. I'm a graduate of senior high school, and I had nothing in mind. I had nothing in mind of what to do next before continuing my tertiary education. And so when Pastor Ansere decided to talk about that particular topic, I was so surprised. I was like, maybe this God's way of like telling me where to go, what to do next regarding my future, right? And to be honest, I had nothing planned. I had nothing in mind. I was just there, and then I decided that maybe taking a year gap would be the best solution to finding something to do. I also had that mindset that every work is work, as we say in our local dialect, right? But Pastor Ansere also added that we are God's workmanship, which means we are his tools or artifacts, which also means that we have a purpose here on earth, and I have to find my purpose on earth and fulfill it. I'm still on the journey of finding my purpose and how to fulfill it, and also to what extent I can go with it. Right? I can clearly see the difference in my way of thinking now from back then when I graduated senior high school, right? And now after following the academic life, the life strategies, I can see a lot of changes in the way I used to think back then and now. Who I am, what I am, where I come from, what my purpose on earth is. I know it's all now. I also see setbacks as God's way of helping me grow. He puts me in situations because he trusts me to be able to like overcome them, to handle them. And that's why he puts me through them. So actually thinking, oh, why has God forsaken me and all that. In fact, the life strategist has helped me strengthen my bond with God. And now I know he's always there with me. He's my best friend. The Academy of Life is something I would like to share with the world. I would like everyone to know the life strategist exists and is making changes to the world right now. It's helping a lot of people, and so I'll do my best to share the knowledge I have gained from you or with others so that they may also find their way in life. I know this program is not by chance or coincidence. It's God who instructed you guys to do this for us, and it has helped us a lot. Thank you all so much. I look forward to learning more in the next seasons. Shout outs to the beautiful Pastor Sheila, Pastor Ansere, our father, Sam Henry, Deacon Afari, and everyone who's involved or behind the idea of the life strategies, the Academy of Life. God bless you all so much, and goodbye.
And that was a beautiful one there. God bless our sister so much. Wow. That one was so touching. Okay, I wouldn't say much. Ikinafari,
Pastor Sheila,
tell us something about that testimony.
like I said in the beginning, this academy, which is showing people how to live, is really doing a great job, because listening to her testimony, she was saying something that she's a young girl from SHS, and then she didn't know what to do with her life. But then she decided to take a year gap to find out what she's supposed to do with her life. And then it was within that period that she got to meet Academy of Life. And then she meeting Academy of Life just didn't end there, but then she has realized that there's something she can do with her giftings and then her talents. So now she's going to work on them and then make sure she uses them to fulfill purpose.
So she never knew she had one.
She never knew.
And because she listened to Academy of Life, she now realized she had a gift that she can bless humanity with.
She can bless humanity.
Wow. So wow. Wow.
So I believe and then like she says, she went to watch the previous seasons, although she didn't come to meet them. Which means if you're here and then you didn't come to meet season 1, you have to go back to Pastor Ansere talks about
she
life.
She said she was watching the excerpts. So imagine only the excerpts can do this to a person. When you go back to watch all the seasons,
the full videos,
you will fly. Wow, only the excerpts.
Only the excerpts. So I'll say everyone watching us tonight should go back. If you didn't come to meet season 1, begin from season 1 and then watch all the videos. If you don't know what to do, just don't worry, just go back, go and watch them, because you have someone here who is saying she didn't know what to do. Right now, she watched all the seasons. She knows what to do with her giftings, her talents, and then she's on a way to find them purpose and then to fulfill them. So, like you keep on saying, the man of God is really doing a great job, and then he's really teaching people how to live. So everyone should just go and watch.
And that is what this program is about. We teach how to live. That's the Academy of Life with the life strategies. So, people of God, we move on to the next testimony.
Hello, my name is Doku Richmond, and I'm a level 200 student of the Presbyterian College of Education. I came to know Pastor Ansere Francis earlier this year, and I must say, he has been a very great resource in my spiritual growth. Now, permit me to share 2 of the most important things I've learned from Pastor Ansere Francis, for which I stand on to say that he has been a great resource to my personal or spiritual growth. The first one being the idea that every human has a purpose, and that purpose is in God, and you must discover and live it. The second thing being that every human and everything on earth is in the temple of God. So whatever we do is a worship to God. He talked about, or he described the idea that the temple that was created in the ancient Israel was something we call microcosm, or the concept called microcosm. And then the whole universe is what we call the macrocosm. So the whole universe is a temple of God, and whatever activities we do here is a worship to God. So he went into the scripture, specifically the book of Psalms, and showed us that everything that happens on the earth, everything that is in earth should worship God. Therefore, humans are expected to worship God. But the acts that you do, when they go by the principles of Christ, then those actions that you are taking will be an acceptable worship to God. But when those actions are separate from the principles of Christ, then those actions are termed as an abominable sacrifice. The third thing, which I did not intend to add, was the idea that when it comes to national development, there are certain principles that God had put in place to govern every nation, and those are 5 principles. And if I can remember them better, we have the principle of justice, love, abundance, and I think 2 others. On this note, I just want to extend my hand to everyone out there that Pastor Ansere Francis is one man that when you listen to him, you get so much value and you develop spiritually. Listening to him is worth every time you would have on this earth, because you discover your purpose and you are able to live a worthy life and a meaningful life. On this note, join me as we listen to Pastor Ansere Francis this and every other day. Thank you. Bye.
And that's another one there for you viewers. Wow, microcosm and macrocosm. I throw that one to you, Mr. Finney. The micro and the macro of the cosms.
Thank you so much for allowing me to comment on that particular testimony. And you can clearly see he really understood what the life strategist
Yes.
was putting across. And what I can add to what he shared was the fact that he said the life strategist made mention of the fact that the universe is a temple of God. And I remember the day the life strategist was actually introducing that particular subject. He used a certain word I had not heard before, and it's the word the ubiquitous presence of God. And then he explained the fact that it means the general presence of God, which is very, very cardinal and pertinent, meaning that God is holy. And if God's presence is everywhere in our world, then it simply means that the universe is holy.
Yeah.
And if that is so, then it simply means that the earth is holy. And if the earth is holy, then it has a lot of consequence. And the consequence of that very statement is the fact that whatever thing that we do is also holy. That simply means every work that we do is sacred. That simply means that we cannot secularize any work that we do. So we shouldn't have in our vocabs any work called a secular work. There's nothing called a secular work from God's perspective.
Secular,
So for example, you are a policeman. Bible says that offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, for this is a reasonable act of worship. And another version will say this is a reasonable service. That simply means if I'm a policeman, and based on what the life strategist explained to us, as a policeman, your reasonable act of worship, your reasonable act of service to God is how much you understand from God's perspective how a police should become a police. Or to put it in another way, if Jesus were to be a police, how would Jesus carry out his work as a police? And that should be our mindset. And if that is going to be our mindset, we would easily be able to transform our societies and the societies in which we live. And I believe it was a very cardinal thing that we really had to understand. And if, dear viewer, you've not listened to that particular one, go back and listen to it, because it's very cardinal to understand that this whole universe is a temple. And that particular work that you are doing is God's holy work for you to do.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't say, this is my academic life, this is my spiritual life. No, your academic life as a student is your reasonable act of worship to God. So by understanding that, you will attach a certain level of seriousness to your studies, knowing that that is your worship to God. And for example, what is that offering that we are offering? It is the quality of service we render. As a soldier, as a civil engineer, as an architect, the quality of work that you do is that offering you offer as a priest unto God, which definitely God is going to judge you for how you work with it. And I believe it's something that is very, very important.
And I also believe it is something that is very, very important.
To add something to what our dear minister here just said, our young brother here, or the one that we just watched his testimony with, Mondoku, spoke about the 5 virtues or principles or keys. And as I said it earlier on, for me, it really touches me. So he couldn't even mention all the 5, but I'll add the 2. I think he made mention of love, justice, truth, abundance, and beauty is what he left out. So we have to understand how this transforms our society or becomes a transformative principle in changing or building our nation. In our present day Ghana, or in our present day generation, whenever we think about nation building, among the 5 principles that the life strategy shared with us, people believe that, or people perceive that, we only need justice, because there's a lot of injustice going around these days. So people think that only justice is what we need, and because of the 3 arms of government, judiciary, so we need only justice. But honestly and frankly speaking, without we understanding the absolutism of the truth or absolutism of truth, we can never even define what justice is. Because in truth, that's where we find pure justice. As the life strategist, I will maybe paraphrase him. In truth is where we will find pure justice. So in nation building, we will need justice, and then we will need truth, we will need beauty. And how beauty is described or seen through the lens of Christ. So we cannot say there's beauty about something in our nation without we understanding beauty from that perspective. Everything, every principle there is really cardinal in rebuilding our nation. And in it, we have to understand how absolute it is. how absolute it is only comes from the perspective of Christ. And so that's the little thing I'll also add to what our dear minister also just said.
This isn't little. Thank you so much for that contribution, Deacon. And so we moved straight to the last testimony. Let's go and watch that.
Hello everyone, I'm Sian from Bonkale, speaking from my square mom, and I'm here to share a testimony on how the Academy of Life has really improved my life. I was a student of a case, and I was a kind of student who wasn't really good in academics, and I really find it difficult in studying there. So one day I met a very good friend of mine called the J Sensation, who is now the chief elder of Kingdom Civilization member, and he introduced me to a powerful program which is the Academy of Life, which is shown on every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Facebook. Yeah. So I began to watch that program day in and day out always, and I saw some improvement, a good improvement in my academics. And I was also suffering from an eye problem for like 3 years. And through the prayers that they always pray for the sick, I was healed and I was free from that eye problem. So I recommend this powerful program to you, which is the Academy of Life, which is shown on Facebook every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It's a powerful message, so I wish all of you could listen to that program on every Wednesday. Thank you.
Yes, and that was Sian. We heard the healing testimony of how he was healed from his eye problem that he has been having for years. But when the life strategist prayed, yes, I think he makes that prayer after every episode. And through that prayer, he has had his healing and he is free. And on this particular testimony, I would want the only lady among the gentlemen to speak on it. So, Dickness, what's your take of this testimony?
All right, please, Pastor. Looking at this testimony, I'll pick it from 2 points. The first is he said now he's doing well in school because of the Academy of Life. And someone may be asking, why? What happened?
Is it that when you listen,
Exactly.
it is magical? Your mind just rearrange and then...
Yes, but I believe that the Academy of Life, I remember from previous seasons, the man of God made us to understand that every field of life, or let's say whatever course or program you are studying in school is relevant in this world. Accounting, whatever it is, catering, whatever it is needed in this our world is very important. So just by listening to that, I mean, it gives you this interest in whatever field or course you are studying, and that interest can boost your academics very much, because now you are studying with understanding, you are studying with a lot of insights. So it gives you this high intellectual ability to study well and do well in class. So please, if you are out there, you are students, make sure you watch Academy of Life every Wednesday. And then the second part of the testimony is the healing. So every Wednesday after the Academy of Life, the man of God, the life strategist, leads us into prayers, healing prayers. And our brother here has had his testimony. The next could be you. So I would indulge everyone out there not to take those prayers for granted, because in as much as the life strategist is a life strategist, he's also a man of God filled with power, filled with the Holy Spirit. He prays and he heals so much. So please don't downplay those prayers at the end of the show. It's really going to be a blessing.
So now that is how the life strategist exercised justice by healing our brother from the eye problem. It has been a great evening with my gentlemen and lady in the studio. Thank you so much for also watching and joining today's broadcast. God bless you. We miss you, and we know you've also missed us. But get ready for the second phase of the season 4 of the Academy of Life with the life strategist. So next week, the life strategist himself is stepping into the studio with vim, vigor, and power. You don't want to miss it. And in the phase 2 of season 4, that is where the life strategist will take his time to explain truth, beauty, justice, abundance, and love. He will pick them one by one. You see, turn them down, upside down, break them, tear, cut. He will really dive deeper into those 5 Christ principles. So the ones you've heard, take your time. He will really polish them for you. He will really make whatever we have in our heads, he will make sense of it, yes, for you. So join us next week, Wednesday, as the life strategist takes his seat to explain the 5 Christ principles to us. So this is where we bring today's broadcast. I was your host and facilitator, Pastor Sheila, and I had these handsome gentlemen and my beautiful lady. I think on my right, I had Deacon Fred, I had Minister Finney, and on my left is Deaconess Kraba and Deacon Afari. And they have been a blessing to us this evening. God bless you too for sharing, liking, and inviting family, friends, and loved ones to also watch. Just sell the Academy out. Please, this is a product. Sell it. Show us your selling skills. So, Academy of Life, a man for, because you don't know who and what will need the messages that the life strategist is sharing here. See you same time, same day next week. Have a shalom evening. Bye.